So we've got now our kind of basic game, so we don't really need to display the lives. So what we can do is go over to the side here and switch that one off. If we double click on the score, we can just put that up here so that we can see it, but it's not really taking up too much of the room on the game. So the next thing then, we are going to make it so that they can't actually move if they've already been caught. So that means that we need to come and change these programs. So let's just spread those out a little bit here. So let's start with our up arrow then. So I'm just going to move these out, and it's fairly simple that we're just going to use an if statement. So not forever if, just if. When that arrow's pressed, we just want to check something. We want to check if the game's still going. So we can put all those back inside. We can go to our operators, get our equals again. Let's put a 1 in there, and our variable is going to be lives. Yep. So the idea behind this is we can move. Again, I'm going to go across so that we get caught. So lives will now be 0, and I'm going to press the up arrow key. So our character cannot move now because the lives equals 0, which means it won't do any of that. So you need to do the same for the other 3 controls here. So if you're adding that on, pause the video, make that happen, and then come back again. Next, we're going to go to the chaser, and we're just going to sort of add a little message on there when it does actually win. So when the flag is clicked, now we're going to say wait 1 second because we want everything at the beginning just to get set up and the game to get going. We're going to use a forever if, and we're going to see if it is touching again the player, and we're just going to use the say. So we're going to say, and it could say you caught them. Oh, gotcha there. And then it just stops everything. So we can try that one as well. Okay, and that, with that up control, that will be the complete end of the game. Again, pause the video, get that one built. Don't forget to keep saving your game as well. Okay, so then last thing really, it's just more of a cosmetic change now, is that we are going to just add some animation here. So let me just put this here so I can just scroll a little bit and get some space. Okay, so what we want with this one then, we're just going to use a forever loop, and we're going to say on that forever we want to switch to the next costume, and we're going to wait 0.5 seconds. So the difference this then gives us is just that the cat is slightly animated there, and we can do the same for our chaser sprite. So I'm just going to grab hold of that, drop that onto the chaser, and then let's run that one as well. So we've got the 2 sprites animated here. So get caught up with that and save your game. Okay. Alright, so once at that point, if you've still got a little bit of time left, then we can add a few other things to the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and duplicate the chaser sprite. So if I just click between them, then we get that sort of square coming off, so we know what's going on there. Now I'm going to put this one up in the corner there. Might just move the score now then and put that somewhere around the middle. So we've got our other chaser here. What we can do is go into the costumes and edit, and let's just change this colour. So I might go for a slightly brighter red. So click the colour, click the fill bucket, and then we just need to do the same to this one. So select the colour that you want, and let's colour that one in. And you can also do that with the other one if you want to change the colours there. So let's not leave it at sprite 1. Let's call that one chaser 2. Okay, so nothing that we need to change on there. On here, the only thing that we do need to change is the starting position. So we're going to throw that away. Make sure that you're not clicked on motion, so click Control first, then click back on motion, and Scratch will update that position. So now we've got 2 of the enemies that are moving after us there. Okay, so a final thing that you can do with this is create another sprite. Now I'm not going to show you how to do this one because this is a more advanced one. We're going to create another sprite, and what we want to do is get our paintbrush, get maybe something around that sort of size, big enough, maybe slightly smaller, and pick a colour there. So let's go with something bright, so let's go with the yellow, and we just put that in the middle there. So just so that we can see that at the moment, I'm going to put it here. Now what we want to happen with this is kind of like our missile. The idea will be then with this, at some point you can press the spacebar. So on this one it's when the space key is pressed. What we need to happen, let me just rerun the game here, is this then needs to be hidden initially, and when we press the space key it moves to the centre of where the cat is, and then it becomes visible. Then it points towards the nearest enemy, which will be this one, and it starts moving towards them until it touches them. On that particular, on each of the enemies actually, we need to say that whenever it's touching the missile, or whenever it's touching yellow, they get sent back to the beginning. Okay, so they would just glide back to the start of the game. So it kind of gives our player a chance that if this one's getting close, they can get rid of that, and it just adds a little bit more strategy to it. You will need to do as well another variable, which would be missiles, and you need to decide, are you giving them 1 missile, are you giving them 2 missiles, or whichever within the game. But I will leave you to try and work that one out for yourself. So you've got all the tools that you do need for that. Remember that it needs to be pointing towards one of these, okay, and it needs to be hidden initially.